This is Professor Cassini Nazir, and this is grad student Shruthy Sreepathy, and I'm grad student Kuo-Wei. The goal of our proposal is creating a social service to enhance the experience of public art through technological means to strengthen the relationship between city and community. So, I would like to talk our project by way of the golden circle. The concept comes from Simon Sinek. So, we believe public art engages civic dialogue and community. It helps us be conscious of the city culture, city history, and the city itself. And then we did a research on public art and our community to conceive and design a social service to enhance the experience of public art. So, our project, ArtSide, bridges the city and community, which is a social platform for sharing the experience of public art. So the inspiration for ArtSide came from the popular mobile game called Pokemon Go. And here's a question. How many of you have played the Pokemon Go? And how many of you are still playing Pokemon Go? Okay. If you don't know, the Pokemon Go works by using GPS and augmented reality to bring up cool-looking Pokemon on your screen and overlay on top of what you see and in front of you. And this game encourages people to hang out together, to catch Pokemon, and to fight the beast with other users. In Pokemon Go, the Pokestop is a specific location that has more monsters than the normal sites. So users will be encouraged to go to this Pokestop to catch Pokemon. So here's a key point. Most of Pokestops are located at very popular and crowded sites existing public art. So it inspired me to design an art site. Pokemon Go built their community for collecting Pokemonsters successfully. And why not build our own community for sharing the appreciation of public art by ourselves? So again, we believe public art engages civic dialogue and community. It helps us be conscious of the city culture, city history, and the city itself. However, there are few environments where people regularly share their thoughts of public art. So we would like to create a social service to build the community for appreciating public art. The ultimate goal is to build the ArtSide ecology to let people share their civic experience from all over the world. So, why public art? What would life be like without the fireworks displays, the puppet parades, the sculpture parks, and visionary roadside food arts? These landmark and special events enhance our experience of a place and our quality of life. They create a sense of pride and community identity. They represent the public history of city, enrich the culture, and reflect the public thinking in society. So there's a lot of public art in our daily life, and most of the time we just pass through it. We might not get or miss the meaning beyond this gorgeous sculpture. And people interact with public art directly. However, people are not always aware of the connection to the city. There is some city culture and history embedded in the public art. The influence is indirect. And there is a same situation between the individuals and city. Their behavior, their thinking also reflect the influence from the city culture, education, and history. As a result, like Pokemon Go, ArtSide can take advantage of the technologies, allowing people to share their personal stories and narrative. Even the artist can gather the general public thoughts, also enable to convey their aesthetic aspect. Through these communications, we are able to realize the city culture and become a part of city history. So we hope our community won't be constrained to Dallas or one specific city. We would like to connect multiple cities and communities. This interactivity engages people from all over the world to provide their opinions, experience, and story to build the meaning and share the memories. It also provokes more creativity and render the place of art in the city from invisible to visible. So our design process helped us to identify the right problem to solve. First, we did a research on the public art. And second, we did a practice to take a public art walk in Dallas to immerse ourselves into the environment around public art to stand in users' shoes. Third, we gather the opinions of both experts and general publics so that we can design a satisfied service. So at the beginning, we only have an idea. Actually, I don't know what is public art very much. So we not only did a literature review to have a good sense of public art, but also we reached several UT Dallas professors with a variety of specialty to have a different view on our project. Each of whom engages in art but from different perspectives. They share their personal insights into public art and their perspective about how technology and emerging communication can be used to enhance the experience of public art. So at the suggestion of Professor Bonnie Pittman, a former director of Dallas Museum of Art, we made a practice to work through the program called Public Art Walk Dallas. It is a free, self-guided artwork promoting a healthy lifestyle through increased awareness and appreciation of public art in downtown Dallas. We have to immerse ourselves closely to the experience of public art to understand who is our art community. And let me introduce my partner, Shruthy. She will talk about how we view this scenario, how we target our audience.
73 participants responded to a survey, and we learned that people want public art to be accessible, meaningful, and interactive. They want to experience the art and not just see them. Nearly 50% of the participants said that they don't pay attention or they don't make time to go see a public art. From the survey results and interview with experts, we then created an empathy map. An empathy map helps us understand what our target users see, hear, think, and feel when they're in a place where there is public art. With these information, we began to question, how can we encourage people to notice and interact with public art? How can we enhance their experience with public art? And how can people become aware of the public arts around them? These questions led us to identify a scenario which shows the journey of a user experiencing a public art. This gives us a picture of how our application can enhance their experience with the public art. Now, before we talk about the design process, let's take a look at what ArtSide is.
Hi, my name is Joyce. I'm an art designer from Seoul, Korea, who enjoys travel and art. On a recent trip to Texas, I spent the afternoon exploring public art in downtown Dallas. My sole companion was my trusty smartphone armed with a new app called ArtSide. Here is my story. Where to start? I took out my phone and logged into ArtSide, went to the chat room, looking for recommendations on where to begin. On ArtSide responded, "Start at the Nasher. This museum is fantastic." I pressed the Nasher picture, and ArtSide provided information about the museum. Pressing the address popped up a map. Off I went on my journey. While walking, I used the newsfeed feature to catch up with the latest postings from my family and friends. I was immediately drawn to the amazing collection of sculpture in the outdoor garden of the Nasher. Here is an interesting piece, a selfie. The museum is so beautiful, I want to share it with my friends and family and other ArtSiders. ArtSide next suggested we explore a nearby park called Thanksgiving Square. Interesting architecture. Wow, magnificent! Look at the ceiling. Next stop, Pioneer Plaza. Yeehaw! Cowboys and cattle drives. It's nice to see all the families and children enjoying the art. Time to get up close with a longhorn. I end my afternoon lounging by the new Dallas Police Memorial. On ArtSide, I review the day's adventures in my personal journal. The world is certainly a beautiful place. Thank you, ArtSide, for sharing my afternoon and guiding me on my experience. Stand on the side of art.
So let me talk about how we designed it and how we approach our goal and the overall interaction design process. We put a lot of effort during the research process. Now we get a kind of concrete foundation to build our app. The map mapping helps us to organize the topic space in order to have a better understand it. So we used mind mapping to visualize the potential direction of our project by specifying its purpose, enhancements, definitions, and functions. Then we start to do the prototype. We create a low-fidelity prototype and have users test them and iterate the design until it is good enough. We use drawing and sketching to prototype. The benefit is less time to prepare a delicate prototype, but we have more time to work on design. We can make the design changes more easily during the test. So after we test out the flow, we develop a design language to unify the experience as demonstrated in this high-fidelity prototype. The high-fidelity interactive prototype are made as close to a real graphical representations of the product as we can allow us to thorough the testing on all the detailed aspects, including the user interface, components, colors, layouts, the information hierarchy, the mental load of screen on users, and the other interactions. So now we have a high-fidelity prototype which is more close to our real product. Shruthy will explain what is a usability testing and some insights we have learned from the testing.
So now usability testing is a way of evaluating the application with potential target users. This helps the researchers know how easy or difficult it is for our users to use the application. With this, we conducted usability test with 4 participants and we identified 8 issues. On a high level, people found the application valuable. It was easy for them to navigate and use in general. But the most prominent finding was with respect to the journal feature. People couldn't tell if the journal that they see was their own journal or if it was somebody else's that they're looking at. And also a sense of personal connection with the journal had to be improved. So now Kuo-Wei will talk about the future of ArtSide.
So we heard some feedback from usability testing participants. There are some refinements. So we went back to the low fidelity prototype. We took advantage of poem structure to narrate an experience that allowed individuals to see the progress while engaging their ideas to create a visual portrait. We would like our app to entertain our users and enhance their experience of appreciating public art. And actually, this is my master thesis project, and ArtSide is still under design process, and we will keep conceiving more interesting features and refine defects to enhance the user experience. And if you would like to catch up on any progress or updates, feel free to connect us, or you can visit the UT Dallas ArtSide Lab website, and we are glad to hear your feedback. Thank you.